couldn't possibly imagine what he's been through.
I want to know what happened to Eric.
War leaves a mark.
Well, for many years I was very interested in forgiveness as a theme for a film, and in many ways this film found me, not the other way around. And what I always feel is that forgiveness is one of those elements or emotions that defines us as human beings. And the film is about the very worst and the very best of human nature, and it reminds us of what we are capable of, both terrible things and also the compassion and the empathy and that is a process, as you rightly say, to forgiveness. And the thing I guess I learnt is that forgiveness is not something you wake up and go, I'm going to forgive someone. You know, it's a process of understanding and coming together, of opening up, in a way of expressing all the good things about what we have as what defines us as human beings.
He was my friend. He was a prisoner here. You put your life in my hands. He wanted an end to this.
You are a soldier, Lomax. You never surrendered.
I'm not sure that the only access we have to hope and to positive side is through pain and suffering, but often we are able to access those things because we go to those, we are either forced or we go to those dark places and have the capacity to realise that of what they are, you know, that they are dark, that the emotions that go with those things like anger and revenge and feelings of vengeance, are not what we were put on this earth to do, you know. And in a way, what defines us as human beings is our capacity to move beyond those things, and in a sense learn from those things, which I think is what you're alluding to.
You're making quite a meal of this.
That was the general idea.
You know, I was wondering, I've never kissed a man with a moustache before. And I don't think I'm going to kiss a man with a moustache again.
And if the man removed the moustache?
Yes, that would do nicely.
It's a very interesting question because this is how I wanted to tell the story. Is that even though there is dialogue in the film and all that sort of stuff, I wanted to be able to tell the story on an emotional level, and to get three such brilliant actors who have such a rich internal emotional life. It tells so much of the bigger story through their eyes, through their face, and particularly with Nicole, I really wanted, because of her role, Patty is someone who had to suffer to a large extent in silence, and she had to, but we wanted to know what was going on inside her while she was dealing with Eric as he dealt with the demons that haunted him. So it was very much as possible, we tried to tell the story not only with silence, but with the world, the interior world of what their eyes and their face told us. So, I'm glad that you recognise that, because for me, the most cinematic thing is when you see an actor of their calibre and you see this size on the big screen, every little nuance tells you something about the story.
My husband isn't coping.
War leaves a mark, Mrs. Lomax.
But I don't believe in this code of silence that you have. I really don't. And you may be determined to stay screwed up and suffer for the rest of your life, but I don't want that for Eric, and I can't live like that. He's a wonderful man. I've seen it. I love him, and I want him back.
Well, the irony about torture is that it's a self-depreciating mechanism. How do you ever know? If the idea of torturing someone to get the truth, but how do you ever know that it's the truth? Because, of course, some people break, some people don't break, but in theory, everyone has a breaking point, but in the end, people will tell the torturer what they want to hear. And so how do you ever know you're getting to the truth? So it's never about finding the truth. It's about inflicting pain and suffering onto someone because you want to punish them. That's all it is. It's about punishment, not about... and even if it is about finding the truth, how much of it is the truth when you have to go through that process to discover it? And so, you know, I guess that's my answer.
I'm just going to keep looking into those lovely brown eyes.
Why?
I don't know. Takes my mind off the broken teeth and the shabby clothes.
Not quite so shabby today, actually.
Better get them off so I don't get confused then.
I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy.
It's a great irony as well, because, you know, the birthplace of the theatre and the birthplace of in a way where we are today, why we're sitting here, why there are cameras there, is because of Greece in many ways, you know. And it is always when things go wrong, so often it's the economists who create the problem, and then they want to blame the artists or blame those that are not mainstream for the problems that are faced in society. You know, what they should have done is fire all the banks. You know, what they should have done is fire the people who created this situation, and to close the artistic centres, to deny people self-expression is to deny a society, and the birthplace of society is Greece. So to deny people that human motivation is a very, very expected but strange thing.
He's alive. And he's living off it. Showing the railway to tourists. Bridge on the bloody River Kwai holidays. Now, I've had it translated.
I was asked just outside, did I have a favourite railway journey? And I actually said about the first time I ever went to Greece, which was when we got the boat from Italy overnight to via Corfu to Patras, yeah, and then the train journey across the Peloponnese over the Straits of Corinth, just as the sun was going down. And you know, I did ancient history at school. I loved it and knew a lot about, in those days, many years ago, ancient Greece, and just looking at those, the story of the boats, all so many of them across the water, they got stuck, and just all of ancient history just laid out the train window. So that was what I said was my favourite train journey.
A lot of men went through something you can't imagine. You'd have to let us just cope with it.
My husband isn't coping. I love him, and I want him back.
Will you stand by him, whatever he does?
I have to try.
I have suffered much, but I know you have suffered too. And you mean everything to me. Sometime the hating has to stop.